Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. This has been a little bit of a fast-paced setup. The guys in this room are fucking antsy, they're ready to go. Let's hunt right now. So yeah, the setup process has been expedited immensely to indeed accommodate these rather impatient people. For all I know, they could have been waiting for a little while before I had even arrived in the room. That's fair enough. I don't know. They seemed fairly ready to go when I joined, so here I am. I got ready as quickly as I could. Either way, welcome back. I am back, indeed. And, yeah, today's been a good day. I'll go into why it's been a good day. It doesn't necessarily relate to Monster Hunter, but it does relate to what I'm drinking here, which is, well, I'll actually have to check because I'm not personally familiar with it. It's Weissenauer, or Weissenauer? I guess Weissenauer? Look, I'm not fucking German, okay? Weissenauer Bonator. That is what I'm drinking at the moment. It's a nice seasonal German beer. The season in question is spring. It is a spring beer from Germany. It is indeed not actually spring in the southern hemisphere where I live, but it is spring approaching summer in the northern hemisphere. So I'm having a spring beer, and it's very good. It's, well, perhaps not as good as the last seasonal beer I had. The last one that I had was an autumn seasonal beer, known as Echt Schlenkerler. Well, I call it Echt Schlenkerler Urbock. There's a third word that relates to the actual brewery, but it doesn't matter. I'm not especially concerned about accuracy at this stage. I'm just saying that the last seasonal German beer I had was a bit nicer than this one. But, you know, that's purely preferential. The last one I had was really fucking smoky. This one is not really fucking smoky. It's certainly flavoursome, but not as exciting as the last one. I do definitely have a taste for smokiness in almost anything. So, smokiness and peat. I love that smell. And, you know, there's a smoky flavour associated with peat, I would guess. So. Anyway, I should probably get my chat up. I didn't have the time to do that. I'm opening it now. The reason why it's, I suppose I should get to the little story I was going to tell. For those of you who have watched me for a long period of time, you would know that I often bring out rather exotic beers on camera. It's what I often drink in my own time as well. But I recently moved house. Now, I was lucky enough to be in close distance previously, or in close proximity to, a bottle shop that sold, you know, a lot of really nice imported beers. And now that I have moved, I was indeed concerned that I wouldn't be able to get those anymore, or at least not quite so easily. I did a bit of exploring today and I actually found a place within walking distance that sells all the beers that I used to get, plus some, so I was really fucking happy to see that. It was like a, I don't know, it was a eureka moment, I suppose. I was really, really happy about it, and so I got this beer to celebrate. It's very good. Hey, Juvenator. Presumably the other Lagombi, and there are two of them, is already here. So I'll... What? One at a time? Why? Again, there's something seriously wrong with Capcom thinking that for some reason in this game, we don't need to see all of the individual monsters that are the objectives of the... Oh, never mind, it's actually not two Lagombi. For some reason I had only glanced at the list of monsters and I thought that it was two Lagombi and Barioth. It's actually Lagombi, Jade Baroth, and Barioth. Okay. Rather different from what I had in my head, but that's okay. It's either a case of me not having paid attention to what I was originally looking at, or it's a case of my memory rewriting what I had seen in my mind. This is not working out very well at all. I'm being flinched not only by teammates, but also by Bullfango, and that really does not make for a very enjoyable experience, as I'm sure you can all appreciate. But yeah, I've already finished one of those bottles of beer. I'll be having the second one on camera here. That is a rhyme that was unintended. Thought I'd get that off, that was reasonably good timing. Why am I in a Gunlance mood, you may ask? I don't know. I just happen to be in a Gunlance mood, so here I am. Let's try to get out a full combo without being fucking flinched. Can we do it? Fortunately, when you are doing your Gunlance slam attack, you are given a bit of resistance to flinches from teammates. Of course, that does not apply when it comes to attacks like hammer, super pounds, upswings, blast attacks, you know, those sorts of things, but everything else is fine. Why I slipped into some weird accent there, I don't know, but I really am getting sick of being hit by this bastard monster. Okay, that's great. That looked like a little bit of hitbox fuckwittery, to be completely honest, but whatever. Your audio keeps cutting out. If anyone else is experiencing the same thing, do let me know, then that would mean, or because that would mean, it's not on Autonomic's side. But something like that is most certainly on your side, Autonomic, but again, thank you for letting me know. I do need to be informed of any issues that are experienced by those who watch, because if I don't know about issues that I can fix, I won't be able to fix them, obviously. But by the sounds of it, it is something that is unrelated to what I'm sending. Can't imagine in my mind why audio would be cutting out. And that is a one zone. It is our second one zone so far. Can't complain about that. Hello, Koroku. Rejuvenator is 238 hours into Elden Ring, which is lovely of him to report to the chat and to me. I have not been playing much Elden Ring recently, actually. I've been playing a bit of Monster Hunter in my own time. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter 1. I may as well communicate to you my experience with Monster Hunter 1 today. It caused me to shut off the game immediately. It was basically, oh I see, so they want, the reason why it's one at a time is because they wanted to have Great Baggy as an invading monster alongside Barioth, which is quite weird because I can only assume that Barioth would spawn in Area 6, and Great Baggy does not really hang around there, so what is going on? Are there 4 monsters? Have I really been left this confused? Unless Great Baggy spawned alongside Jade Barioth, in which case we may as well kill this guy for fun. There we go, Barioth has spawned over here. I'm not really in the business of soloing monsters when there are a group of 4 hunters in the quest, but I don't really feel like just randomly fighting Great Baggy for some reason. All of the monsters are weak to fire, so I don't know why I'm so averse to the idea of fighting Great Baggy, but I would like to remain objective focused, I guess. For reasons that I can't quite put my finger on. Anyway, the story about Monster Hunter 1, it's an anecdote with its origins being... Well, let me rephrase that. This anecdote refers to an incident that took place about an hour and a half ago. I was hunting Rathalos in Monster Hunter 1. The Japanese version of Monster Hunter 1 more specifically. I suppose the relevance of that is that it is an even earlier version of the game. If you can imagine, the game was even worse then. It was even more glitchy and messy. And essentially, whatever could have possibly been fixed between the Japanese version and the Western release has no doubt not been fixed in the version that I'm playing, so... Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a very messy experience, and I was fighting Rathalos, and it was a capture quest. Now, capturing monsters in first generation Monster Hunter is a truly atrocious experience. It's just awful. Usually you're given pitfall traps, and what that means is that the monster actually goes below your throwing arc. So when you throw a tranq bomb, your tranq bomb will usually sail over the fucking monster, so you literally have to stand back quite a distance to ensure that you're not going to throw the tranq over the fucking monster in the pitfall trap, because again it's down low, given that it's fallen into the ground. And so, you know, I'm used to that with Cutco, that's fine. I have a lot of experience having to deal with that. You literally just have to stand fucking far away from the monster and you'll kind of be fine. There's still no guarantees, because the tranq bomb is mercilessly small in its effective range. Like, it's this little ball, you know? It's so easy to miss it. They give you as many as 6 tranq bombs, because they realize, like, no matter what the capture quest is, from my experience, they always give you 6 tranq bombs, because even though you only need 2 of them to make contact with the fucking monster, again, they foresee that you might miss as many as 4 fucking times. So, and I often do, so yeah, I guess the reason why it's a good thing that they give you a pitfall trap, it's rather absurd, but the monster does stay in the pitfall trap for a while. But honestly, if they'd given you a fucking shock trap, you wouldn't have that issue of missing in the first place. So, quite frankly, they've created a problem and solved it at the same time, but it's still a problem, if that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense, and the reality is that first generation Monster Hunter, for the most part, doesn't make sense. But anyway, I got this Rathalos after literally 20 minutes of fighting it to what I assumed to be capturable health. The reason why it took me 20 minutes to fight this Rathalos is because, literally, I would engage it for about 10 to 15 seconds and then it would fly away again. That was essentially the whole hunt. I, first and foremost, couldn't find the thing for a while, so I waited until it appeared in the sky somewhere, and then I finally found it. By that point, 5 minutes had already passed. And then, you know, it was basically a game of cat and mouse. I was constantly chasing this fucking Rathalos all over the goddamn forest and hills because it would not stay in one goddamn place. And if I were fortunate enough to be able to fight it in the same area for longer than 10 to 15 seconds, it would spend most of that time doing the around the world attack, flying around in a fucking circle only to completely miss me when it finally goes in for the dive attack, and then it goes and falls into the map, like down into some distant fucking background image, walks around down there, flies around, and then it eventually gets back to where I am, only to engage me for the best part of 5 to 10 seconds and then fly away again. So that was basically why it took me 20 minutes to get a Rathalos down to capturable fucking health, or again, what I assumed to be capturable health. What actually happened was he was able to fall asleep with the amount of health that he had, but for some reason he was not fucking capturable. I am certain that he didn't recover enough health to not be capturable, because, you know, I was hitting him. He literally fell asleep in front of me and I was hitting him. So he had not found the chance to sleep and recover a lot of health. I was literally attacking the fucking thing. And then I thought, well, look, I'm in a room with like 50 Velociprey, you know, the cave area, if you can refer it to... Yeah, you can refer to it as a cave area. The cave area of the forest and hills. And I thought, well, fuck, I'll let him go to sleep. I had him paintballed, and fortunately in first gen Monster Hunter, or at least Monster Hunter 1, specifically Monster Hunter 1 and likely Monster Hunter G, when you do paintball a monster, it gives you the actual image of the monster, not just the circular paintball, but the image of the monster, much like Detect and Auto Tracker would give you. I left the area, waited for him to go to sleep, and then I went in there, trapped him with a pitfall trap, threw 3 tranks. One of them did miss, of course. He went to sleep in the trap. Now, there's usually a delay between the moment the monster falls asleep and then the moment the quest completes. But this time, instead of the quest completing, he just fucking woke up again. I threw tranks at him and he woke up in the trap. And so I must have thrown another 2 tranks, perhaps even 3. I would have had 6. And then he fell asleep in the trap again, only to wake up. So I think what happened the second time was I managed to get both tranks on target, and then I thought, fuck, maybe I need to throw a third one while he's actually asleep to get the successful capture. And that's what I did. I actually got the third one on target. I got all 3 on him for the second capture attempt in the same trap. And he woke up again. Now, I don't know if that was a case of the Velociprey waking up the Rathalos. Like, maybe he can't be touched at all, and he needs to be asleep for a certain length of time in the trap while capturable for the capture to be successful. I've got no fucking idea, but it was ridiculous. And, you know, I'd spent 20 minutes just to deal with that shit. This is the point. It wasn't just some quick process and then having to deal with that. It was having to chase this dickhead around for 20 minutes, only to fail the capture twice in the same trap when he was capturable. It was just unbelievable. I don't know. What more can be said? What more can be said? It's first generation Monster Hunter with the maximum degree of messy game design. And I enjoy it, you know, I do get enjoyment out of first generation Monster Hunter, but holy god. It's not always an enjoyable experience. I just assumed that the quest was a key quest. I'd already done the Rathalos slaying quest, which was the urgent into the last star level of village. And now I've got a list of quests that includes capture a Rathalos, and I thought, well, yeah, I can do it, I don't mind. Well, I really do mind. It's a terrible fucking quest. We've got... We might loose, says Hunter. But, unless this guy is the one who's going to die 3 times, I think we'll be okay. Anyway. What am I doing with myself? Something that would be fun to use with Gem Moran. Oh, and, hello, Koroku. Wait, did I say... No, I think I did say hello to you before. I seem to recall having done that, so... Yeah, I had just forgotten that you were here for some reason. But I think I did say hello. Maybe I'll use an ice weapon. Maybe Ice Awakened Lance or something. Something weird like that. Which I think would be the Idean Crown, right? Yeah. This seems like a fun choice for Gen. I usually use dragon weapons against Gem Moran, but as I recall, Gen is equally weak to ice as compared with dragon. What is going on? It hard. There is nothing hard about a Gem Moran. I realise that it might be the event Gem Moran, in which case, yes, he would hit pretty hard, and yes, he would take more time than the standard G rank one to die. But he's not hard. Did he post it again? Yes, he did. That's alright. Hunter seems to think that it's going to be hard. By the looks of it, that's high rank Escadora, in which case he is in trouble. No, that's not high rank Escadora, okay. In fact, yeah, it's obviously not. High rank Escadora doesn't have all that white around it, like all those accents. It's mostly just, I guess that dark purple colour. Alright, well, I don't know what he's so freaked out about, but we should be okay. I got a short message from someone. Was it from someone in here? What's going on? Just noticed you're female, lol, sorry. What? Oh, I see. Oh, it's because of my me. He must have worked out that my me, I think my me is named Victoria, and it's, you know, a female me. I don't really have anything to say to this person. Again, a lot of people have their me's actually be a reflection of themselves. I don't do that. I think it's weird. It's like, well, I don't feel a need to have some demented looking expression of myself on my console, you know, I'll just make a character. But this person has apologized for not having realized that I was female, despite the fact that I have the name Lord Zor and a male character in the game. It's very, very nice of that person to apologize, but it is indeed totally unnecessary, and it's not going to be a point of concern for me if I were indeed female and I had gone out of my way to make a male character in the game, I'm not going to sit here and go, well, why are they just assuming that I'm male? This is unreasonable. But I suppose anything's possible these days. Or why do they assume I'm male, whatever I was saying. Doesn't matter what I was saying, I think my meaning was well understood. Hey Vernon. Need brace? Asks Dingles. Well, that's for after we succeed. By the sounds of it, this hunter guy is so... he is so lacking in optimism that we're probably going to fail anyway, so let's just do what we can. One step at a time, man. We are hunting Gemmaran, one of my favourite Elder Dragons. I just can't get enough of this guy. Someone in this room has decided to you know, put forth the opinion that this is a boring monster. I would beg to differ. Maybe boring compared to some fights, but, you know, I started in a game where Lao Shanlung had appeared not once prior, not twice prior, but 3 times, or I think it was 4 times. Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter G, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, and then, for the 5th fucking appearance, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Now that is a boring monster. Imagine doing all of those, or rather, playing all of those games before Freedom Unite came out, and then you play Freedom Unite and you have to do Lao Shanlung hunts again. To be completely honest, it's easy for me to imagine it because I have played all of those games, but in reverse order from the release of Freedom Unite, and yeah, I'm pretty fucking sick of Lao Shanlung. So anyone who wants to call this a boring monster seriously needs to realize what it was like before this game came out. Before Try came out. Trying to avoid that slap attack. I can just shield this. It is a luxury. Let's see how far I'm pushed. About halfway down. It's not too bad. If you blast me, I'm absolutely going to lose my mind. I'm sure you're smart enough not to do that, but you have to understand, and I say this to you, my audience, you have to understand that it is perfectly probable that a person would still, almost out of habit, shoot their gun lance and then launch someone off under those circumstances. I would guarantee that I've had it happen in Portable Third. Guarantee it. In fact, I seem to remember it. Intimately. Yet not so intimately. I remember the rage that I felt, but I don't necessarily remember the circumstance in deep detail. I think Hunter got thrown off, which is fairly entertaining. We'll see how long it takes for him to die. Let's see if he can survive before the final showdown. You never know. He might get lucky. Had to shield that, I don't want to be thrown off into the sand. Haven't even broken this weak point yet. Have to get out of here. For that reason. It hurts. And Hunter is... See, Hunter, it's actually not difficult. You just have to heal, man. He was thrown off the fucking Genmaran, climbed back onto the ship, got back on the Genmaran without having healed, only to be almost immediately hit again. I didn't actually mean to heal there. I was talking about healing, so then I healed. Subconsciously, what I actually meant to do was sharpen. Yeah, I can see why he has such little confidence, and he still has yet to heal himself. It's not very complicated. You know, if you're taking damage, you heal yourself. You're not going to die unless you're getting one shot, you know? I was hoping that I'd be able to get to the boat, but I couldn't get there in time. I'm glad that I committed to breaking that weak point, but fucking hell. I'm just gonna ask him, Hunter, why aren't you healing? Fucking hell. See, I don't mind him failing while giving it a real fair shake. Like, if he's doing his best and he still fucks up, then so be it, but he's not even fucking trying. He's been hit twice and he has yet to heal. So, if I have to command him to heal himself, then so be it, but I don't want to fail this damn quest because this guy is incapable of doing the obvious. I've said to him in no uncertain terms that he should be healing, and he still hasn't done it. He's instead giving me some treatise in response, when he should instead just be shutting up and healing. God damn it. Again, the context for this, for people who didn't see the start of the hunt, is that he said that we might fail the quest. It's Gen Moran. So, really, by the looks of it, the only way that we're going to fail is because of him. Which is what I intimated before I had actually started the quest. Fine. Well, yeah, it is frustrating. If he's got adrenaline, that's fine. Actually, that wouldn't be fine, because you have to have some degree of know-how and skill to use adrenaline. He doesn't have either of those two things, so... Oh god, is he going to get hit by this attack? Let's have a look. Are you a genuine article of stupidity, or are you trolling right now? Like, what are you? Dingles is like, dude, of course, I mean... It's hard to know if he's trolling or not. It is technically possible to be this stupid. It's technically possible, but what are the chances? What are the chances that this guy is so profoundly incapable of producing a critical thought in his mind, and that I happen to be foisted with his presence whilst recording? Like, what are the chances? Anyway. It's unbelievable. Well, that's the thing, Vernon. He was told that... Like, what was said? It was Jawbreaker who had the binder, and he said, I have binder, and Hunter still gonged. He's beyond help. I'm going to tell him to stay at camp. If he doesn't know how to heal, I'm going to tell him to stay at camp next time. Well, having said that, he clearly doesn't know how to follow instructions. I technically didn't instruct him to heal. I asked him why he wasn't healing. But it works all the same. Nice, he says. Yeah, well, with no real assistance from you did we achieve that. Do you want to follow my example? How about dealing some damage to the monster? This is, I believe, the... Wait, is he throwing us off yet? No, he's not. He's doing the other one, the tail one. This is the thing. This is the event quest, I believe. So, and if it's not, then great. We might have a higher chance of success, even with this ignoramus on the team. But if it is the event quest, we need him dealing damage. He's actually got a decent weapon, so if he could fucking use it, that would be great. I just can't believe it. How did he get to this point in the game? He must have been carried by someone. You know, it's the responsibility of every person who carries others through the game to at least pass on some amount of knowledge or experience on how to play the fucking game, but... Well, thank God you didn't get hit. I'm surprised you didn't. You were standing right here while he did the tusk attack. It's nothing more than good luck on your part. You know, the fortune of the gods that you didn't get fucking hit by that. Now, if he's gonna... If he's standing by the binder, I don't think he is, but I was going to say, if he's standing... Not by the binder, but rather by the Dragonator. If he was standing by the Dragonator, to say, oh, don't worry guys, leave it to me. You do bong. Yes, leave bong to us. I'm gonna need a bong, okay, to get through this. I'm gonna need a nice crisp hit of something strong to get through this hunt, okay? That's not good. I should not have stood near him. Can you heal? Holy shit, he healed himself. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. He knows how to heal in Monster Hunter. What a great start. We might actually fucking succeed. Ugh. Sorry, I had to rub my nose there and my hand collided with the microphone. Good timing. Anyway, yeah, as long as we succeed, it's fine. It's just this guy really needs to do better. He needs to improve himself. Actually, I might be able to jump on. If I'm right. Let's have a look. When you're ready. You can see that the character, as in my character, sort of walks underneath the surface of the gem moran for a moment. It's probably to do with the fact that while he's moving that much, or rising that much, the game doesn't really know what to do. At least with me. You can do that, says Jawbreaker. Yes, you can. This is a Monster Hunter try strategy, my friend. Although I can see why the change of what is effectively a changing of the guard has left strategies like these to die. You know, they're a thing of the past now. But I don't know, there can always be a renaissance. Dingles also says that he's never seen that before. Well, that's my point entirely. Anyway. We do get thrown off faster. That's one of the reasons why I do that. It's because Tingles is like... Hunter, what are you doing, man? Stay at camp. Stay where it is safe. If he stays under the fucking boat, he's not going to be touched by anything. Okay, really sorry. Well, you make me feel bad because I can see that you're genuinely dumb. You know, I'm not out here to make people feel bad, but fucking hell. That sort of behavior. Just pay attention. He's saying he's just a kid. Well, I worked that much out. Oh, that was a good binding. I've now been told by Dingles to calm down. Well, what is there to say? There should be no real risk of failure here, but he's inviting that risk. Anyway. Actually, come to think of it, he can't stay at camp once we go to the final showdown. Which is annoying. 2 deaths before the final showdown, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why he said we might fail. Didn't have anything to do with us, had everything to do with him. Can I come now? He says. Yes, you can, because you have no choice in the matter, you must come. But I implore you to stay at the fucking boat. Don't come out here, it's dangerous. There's a monster here. Just stay away from it. I can't believe the tolerance that's shown by these people. They're acting like he's just innocently bad. He's not just that. He is technically that. He's innocently bad. He is, as he describes, a kid who just doesn't know what he's doing. And beyond that, he's reached G rank, end game G rank, and he doesn't know how to heal himself. Okay? That's not just being innocently bad, it's being a waste of space. That's what that is. You're actually detracting from the experience of the people that you're playing with because you're so profoundly inept. That's what that is, okay? Oh, I forgot to heal, sorry. After being hit twice. And having less than half of your health. Seriously. We have to really pull together and get this done. It's a race against the clock. I would have brought an even better weapon if I had realized how bad this guy was going to be. Well, that as well. It's the fact that the monster generally doesn't actually pose a threat. But anyway. Lead by example. This is how you heal, Hunter. This is how it's done. You select the potion and you press A. Well, actually, no, you press Y. Sorry. Apparently, I don't know the button after all. And ironically, I'm being hit way more than I normally would be, but I just don't care anymore. I feel like I'm living in a dream. I probably haven't seen someone perform this poorly against Jen Moran since Try. And when I say since Try, I mean like since it came out. And there were lots of people who were brand new to the series. Who might have been doing the Jen Moran event quest low rank with no join requirement and actually not knowing how to heal. I mean, I definitely did a bit of that. I hunted with a few people who were in that situation. I did intend to hop back and shield that raw, but I guess I was being a little overzealous in my attacking now. Don't have the stamina to get over there. Again, this is not a bad weapon that I'm using, it's just not the best possible weapon I could have used to get this quest done as quickly as possible. I was just using something for fun, but turns out I really need to go at it hard. Unfortunately, Dingles does not have element. Doesn't have elemental damage with his greatsword, so he's going raw only. So we're not really in the best situation right now. At least we've got Jawbreaker at the bow, that means he'll be able to Dragonate when appropriate, and Gong when appropriate. He seems to actually know how to play the game. Looks like we've got the sand beam coming. As you can see, the sharpness of this weapon is not very good. I'm constantly having to sharpen it, it feels. Well, that is how it feels. Would have been better to get the knockback, actually, with that arm break, but we did get another knockback, fortunately. So we effectively still got that knockback. The only way he managed to get to G rank Koroku is by having someone carry him through the game. There's just no other way. This is what happens when you just take it upon yourself to carry someone through the game if you can clearly tell, and it would have been very obvious, that the person that you're helping doesn't know how to play the game. You have to really do some soul searching and ask yourself, are you doing the right thing for the community to bring this person into the end game? Not only are you doing that person no favors, you're dumbing down the community by bringing that person into the end game. So I don't get the point. It's just very lazy. Come on, says Hunter. What do you mean, come on? We do not want the monster to be there. Not only does the monster being there spell concern and risk for you personally, but we also don't want the monster there to deal damage to the boat. So whether it be related to the objective or related to keeping you alive, it is disadvantageous to have the monster over there, so just relax, man. I've already given up on you contributing to the hunt, so at this stage I just want you to be alive and survive the actual hunt that we're undertaking at this point. Well, I don't think that would be likely, Mezzy. You don't often see people leeching like that. Just having people complete the quests for them, that's very uncommon. Even in the most tolerant of Monster Hunter communities, Monster Hunter players don't put up with that. It doesn't exist, it's not a thing. Quest leeching. It's possible if he had a friend of his do that for him, but that friend is an asshole. Well, okay. Strange use of the binder, but sure. What are you doing? Fucking Jesus. And Hunter immediately apologized for using the gong. Well, why did you use it? Was it an accident? I think this is the 10th time he's apologized. And that may or may not be including the time he said, I'm really sorry, as opposed to just sorry. No amount of sorry is going to excuse you for this stupidity. My God. Anyway. I mean, how young could he be? To do what he's doing... Under 10? I hope he's under 10. If he's not under 10, it's inexcusable. If he's under 10, then I regret, you know, writing for fuck's sake in the chat. I regret that, but what I especially regret is that someone carried this guy to G rank. Anyway. Thank God. Congratulations, man. This is a big achievement. You stayed alive. Yay, he says. I share your sentiment. It wasn't a complete waste of a hunt. Hooray. Okay. Do I really want to keep hunting with this person? I don't have much of a choice. I don't have any other rooms to join. This is one of the issues with the lack of players in this game. If I cross paths with a person that I really don't want to fucking hunt with, I kind of have to live with that and continue hunting with them, so. Well, that would be really undesirable, Vernon, and I'm glad you're here. Or rather, I'm glad you're not here. Okay. Let's now move on to beer. I need to drown my sorrows, and not just sorrows, but, well, I used the phrase, the common phrase. I suppose it would be more accurate to say I need to drown my frustrations. Definitely one of the worst hunters I've ever played with on camera, and that is saying a lot. I've played with some fucking bad hunters. You know, people who don't know how to charge greatswords, people who do all sorts of things, but I have never encountered a person who doesn't know how to heal. You know, a person who hasn't established a muscle memory that tells them, oh, I've lost health, maybe I should, you know, get a potion and heal with it. Anyway. Well, leave the beer over there. I get about 3 pours into this glass from that bottle because it's a half-litre bottle, so. And this is a small glass. I like drinking nice beers out of smaller glasses. You get to savour it more. It gives you the impression that you're taking your time with it. And I don't think it just gives the impression, I think you're literally taking your time with it. If I were to pour this into, you know, a really big glass, I'd be going through it faster. And I wouldn't be savouring it in the same way. Well, I don't know how this kid found his way from Roblox to Monster Hunter. Actually, he's not the first person. Let's not forget about Cavenator. Remember Cavenator? Yeah. He managed to... There must be some sort of pathway from Roblox to fucking Monster Hunter. I don't know what it is, but it needs to stop. It needs to be closed. Whatever that avenue is, it needs to be demolished and boarded up. Because we don't need these people here. Again, there was no mention of that game. I'm just saying that... well, I couldn't really... No. Oh, never mind. I thought this was the fucking... I thought it was Descent into Hades for a second. I nearly shat. I would have just... I would have had a meltdown. Could you imagine this kid doing Descent into Hades? Oh my god. I guarantee you that if you wanted to actually set a world record of, you know, someone in your hunt that you don't know dying 3 times as quickly as all humanly possible, this kid plus Descent into Hades. Absolutely. Anyway. What would I like to use? Let's just go with something standard. About Thunder Dual Blades. Nether Confidence. Well, it's been a while since we hunted with Cavenator. He might have graduated from Roblox. He might be a League of Legends player now, who knows? Or a Minecraft player. Only Juvenator can tell us. Alright. Every single quest is going to be this nail-biting affair of me wondering whether or not this hunter guy is going to survive. It's never a good sign when you see the person has named themselves Hunter. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad at the game. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're any less of a person than you are, but it does at the very least show that they have a stunningly low capacity for thinking up a good name. I'm playing Monster Hunter. What should I name myself? Hunter, you know. Don't you have some name that would be personal to you? Something that would set you apart from others? Something that would define you? And you just name yourself Hunter, you know? I mean, there are all sorts of different people in this world, I suppose, but it's hard for me to make sense of a person who just named themselves Hunter. Oh dear. Jawbreaker is trying to give armor crafting advice to this guy. Hold on, I never checked his armor skills. Jawbreaker just said, Hunter, you're probably better off with full Alatrion. That way your armor skills are active. Please don't tell me that he doesn't have any active armor skills. He might not understand that 10 points in one armor skill gives you an effective and active skill. Well, you know what, Jawbreaker, good on you, because at least you're contributing to this person's learning. I couldn't be bothered. It's too insurmountable a task to try and teach him how to play the game. Oh, he's obviously edited something. He must have changed one of his armor pieces and lost his skills. But he's got 2 skills that are not functioning, which is honestly better than having no skills at all. He's got 2 non-functioning skills along with a negative skill, so as much as I can criticize him for that, it's still better than having no armor skills, and it's also better than having no defense. So, fine. It is what it is. How did he kill a Latrion enough times to make the full armor set? How did he do that? Maybe he's cheating, I don't know. Maybe he got his brother's homebrewed Wii U and gave himself all items, and here he is, you know. I Hunter rank 50 now, says Hunter. Well, how the fuck that happened, I've got no idea. Whatever. I'm ready to go, whenever these guys are. We've got 3 people running slime, which is not that great. I think you would ideally want a maximum of 2 people running slime. It's not... I don't actually know how it works, but I don't think it's helpful to have too many people running slime. It starts to overlap, I think. I don't know how the build-up works. I don't know if it's specific to you or if the build-up is shared across multiple hunters. I can only imagine the latter being the case if it were unideal to have multiple people running slime, but I feel like I've seen evidence to suggest that it is individual to the hunter, the slime build-up, so I don't know. Hunter has now for the 2nd time forgotten hot drinks. Wait, does that mean that this is the 2nd hunt that I've done, the 3rd hunt that I've done with him? It is the 3rd hunt that I've done with him, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. So, this is, I believe, his 2nd time forgetting cold drinks. Excuse me, hot drinks, and this is also the 2nd time I've done a tundra location with him. Yeah, I'd forgotten that we had done a hunt before Jen Moran because, you know, I'd stressed myself out getting the quest set up that I'm, or rather getting the recording set up to embark upon the quest, and that I'd actually forgotten about it. I suppose I'd spent so little time in that quest and so much time in the Gen quest that it was removed from my mind. I don't find myself using dual blades all that often. I have mixed feelings about the dual blades. Sometimes I very much enjoy them, and then other times I'm not so much a fan. I suppose at the end of the day, you would have sword and shield people and dual blades people. I'm a sword and shield person, which means that if, let's say for example, you want something that's fast moving, attacks quickly, some would either go sword and shield or dual blades. I go for sword and shield, so I suppose that's one of the reasons why I don't use it as often, as perhaps some other people would. Hunter says, I might die, this is hard. You know what would make it easier? Not typing in the middle of the hunt. You're welcome to type in the middle of the hunt if you know how to play the game, but given that you don't know how to play the game, I would recommend allocating as much attention to playing the game as possible while you're fighting the monster. Seriously. That way you might be able to prevent death. Anyway. It'd be nice if I could make contact with the monster. I find that that helps when seeking to deal damage. It's just as well that a number of us are dealing good damage, so... we might be lucky enough to kill this monster without Hunter actually dying. So... that would be nice, wouldn't it? Might be one of his first hunts that he's managed to complete without dying. In case you haven't noticed, Hunter is so afraid of the monster, he's not actually engaging it. Little does he realize that the real danger... he's attacking a Popo. Are you for real? You're not even playing the game at this stage. You're just... I can't believe it. The monster is not even enraged. He's not... I will admit that maybe to someone who's not good at Monster Hunter. I low health, says Hunter. You're not at low health. You might... and in fact, you don't have low defense either. Maybe he means he has low healing items. Then heal, says Dingles. Fucking hell. Again, I think Dingles failed to interpret what he meant. He has more... thank you, says Hunter. What the fuck? What kind of interaction is this? It's so dysfunctional. I'm sure some people would prefer that I not rag on this guy, but the reality is that he's here in the hunt and I can't ignore it. I can't ignore such shocking ineptitude. So, I will comment on it. Can't help it. Someone used a life powder to heal him. Well, I guess he's out of healing wares. In which case, maybe it is for the better that he died. Oh, whoops. I was not expecting him to advance forward like that to increase his range with the tail. Don't know about that trap placement, but fine. It's risky, but I'll do it. He'll probably do a ranged attack and hit these bombs, but whatever. Again, the flash bomb wasn't all that helpful there, but here we go. Very good, nicely done. Dingles, unfortunately, took a hit there. Don't you upswing with that weapon, Hunter, for God's sake. At least he's not. At least he's in sword mode. I'm surprised he knows how to get into sword mode, really. Good flinch. And good tail cut. It would be logical for him to have stopped playing, but unfortunately his very existence is illogical, so... yeah, I don't know how he got here either. Someone has a lot to answer for. Because he's played a lot. You know, to get to Hunter rank 50... oh, I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. It might not even be his account. Hadn't even considered that. It might be his brother's account. Now, obviously his brother also sucks at the game because... well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. See, I hadn't even considered that. These are the things that you don't even consider. It's probably not him who made the character. It's probably someone else's character and he's logged on and he doesn't know how to play the game. He clearly knows enough to at least be able to do something, but... yeah. Yeah, so Vernon came to the same conclusion as me. I'm going to ask Hunter, I'm going to talk to him, I'm going to actually find out what's going on, because... yeah. He's asking if we want to capture. He seems to understand something, at least. So he's not totally clueless, he's not just some kid who went on his brother's account in some game that he doesn't understand. He at least sort of gets what's going on in the game, but... yeah, I find that the most probable explanation would be that it's someone else's file, so... Now, oh, whoops, preferred is what was said for the caption. Well, I'm not even going to apologise, I don't fucking care. I'd read that the person preferred to capture, but I forgot to actually act on that information. I was a little too distracted by the presence of this person. Apparently, Jawbreaker needed a dragon shell and he got one. Hunter says that he is not using someone else's character. How did you get this far? I'm not asking it to be nasty, it's a genuine question. I don't know how he got this far. Well, I do know how. The possibilities have reduced in number. If it's his account, it means he was carried heavily by probably one person consistently. And that person has a lot to answer for. Because that's just downright... It's totally inexcusable, and... yeah, it's irresponsible. Damn it. This is not the only thing that I've made an extra stack of for this, so where's the other thing? This is Nagakuga. Here we go. Dragon shell. The guy was looking for dragon shells, meanwhile I'm here going, damn it! I've already got 99 dragon shells. Literally. I'm annoyed by the fact. Jawbreaker says Escadora is hard to get. It's not so much that it's hard, it's that it's time consuming, and again, if you don't know how to play the game, then I suppose it would be hard to kill Elatrion enough times to make the full set. It would be, certainly, because you need the rare items of a few different monsters to make Escadora, and on top of that you do need Sky Swayers, so... what the fuck? Alright, two possibilities. He's either been heavily carried... no, three possibilities. He's either been heavily carried, he's a cheater, or he's lying, and it's not his fucking file. Which sort of leaves us with the same possibilities as before, except the one about it not being his file is now him lying about it not being his file. So, there you go. Anyway. What's our next quest? I don't know whose turn it is, but if it's my turn, I'll probably skip. I will go and withdraw some more nullberries, because I don't want to forget to do that and basically run out. That almost happened with my whetstones. Because you have as many as 20 whetstones, sometimes it's been a long time since you last stocked up on them and then you just forget. But generally you are reminded. If you're down to... generally when you're under 10 whetstones, you start to go, oh shit, I need to stock up soon. Zor post. Skip. The reason why I skip is because it's more fun to do a quest that someone else has posted. Yes, I could have technically gone and posted anything, something that might have been fun, but strangely it becomes less fun when you've made the decision. When you've decided what to do, it takes a little bit of the fun out of it. See, he's posted something, I've got no idea what it is, but I didn't have a hand in posting it. At all. And I never would have actually posted this voluntarily. This is the thing, I would not have looked at a list of quests and decided, let's do 2 Great Roggy. I would not have, for a moment, considered that. because I feel like there's a better choice, but because he's chosen it, I'm happy to do it. For all I know, he needs Great Rocky, and so it gives me cause to do it. Feels like a worthwhile thing to try out. And I guess one of the good things about it is that it's something that I wouldn't do on my own initiative. Let's bring a greatsword. Something a bit different. I think he's weak to ice, isn't he? So do I have... No, I definitely do actually have an Awaken Ice Greatsword. It's the... Is it the Devastator? I forget what it's called. It is the Devastator. Don't know how I remembered that. I knew it was something dramatic, but I managed to get the right dramatic word. Very good. Well, obviously Greatsword is a little bit uncomfortable with a monster like this, but that's part of the reason why I'm using it. It's not an obvious choice. Hunter has gone quiet. He's not going to any great lengths to explain himself. He's just responded with no to the question of... Oh, here we go. Someone help me. Look, at this stage, I don't think anything that any of us can do will be enough to help you. Armor and weapon. I'm telling you, he has to be under 10 years old. There's no other explanation. You know, he's not 11 or 12, there's just no fucking way. He has to be, like, really young. Anyway. You can't exactly stop a person like that from playing, but it's annoying when you have to deal with it, when it happens. I vote Zor to help you. Haha, no. Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake. Let's just go. Let's ignore his request and do what we want. I mean, he'll be posting his own quest next anyway, so... I don't even know if he can... Oh. We're not helping him out, Dingles. We'll let him post the quest that he needs, and then that's it. We don't have to involve ourselves in the... I don't even know if you could call it a process of creating an armor set, because I don't think he would know how to begin to do that. And Dingles is asking, like, what class? GS? Of course, the point is that he would have to identify skills that would be appropriate for a specific type of weapon. He's not doing that. Which begs the question, why does he think he needs armor? He's got armor. So is he really looking to expand his repertoire? Is he wanting to increase his options? Why? He doesn't even know how to play. What a truly enigmatic person this is. I don't know. The thing is, he should have done his learning long before he got here, so I think it's a fucking lost cause. And quite frankly, I'm not hunting in G rank to give low rank advice to people, okay? I'm here in G rank to hunt in G rank. If I wanted to be out there to assist someone with what can only be described as the basics, I'd be hunting in low rank and helping out those people. I'm not here to do that. I still got poisoned, God. Yeah, greatsword is an awkward choice, but whatever. See, I can't even get a level 1 charge. This asshole moves so much. Oh, great. That's right, Hunter. There's 2 of them. I'm glad you noticed. Yes, says Dingles. It's very good of you to confirm that. You really went to the trouble of dung bombing that one? I think having 2 of them here at the same time would make it a little more fun. In the case of something as easy to kill as a Roggy, I mean, this one's almost dead already. Maybe the concern was not on the account of the person who threw the dung bomb, but on Hunter's account. Let's not have 2 of them here at the same time. Hunter might die. And you know what? That's a fair concern. Well, this is the thing. I don't know though. It's a good question. Is it better to have the camera on the right side of the screen so you can see the chat? When I'm scrolling through items, it has to be something that you can see. I don't want that to be invisible to you. You see, the chat is only there some of the time. Whereas this information, you know, the items that I'm scrolling through and using, that's always there and it's part of the combat here. It would be very strange to cover that at all times. I'm perfectly happy to move myself to the side so that you can read the chat, if there is something worth looking at. But yeah, it is one of those things where no matter what, I'm in the way of something, but oh my god. Yep. I'm happy that I'm the green hunter. That's a really nice shade of green too. I love that colour. I wish I could select green permanently, but I can't. It was a quick hunt though, I will say. You know what? Just for this recording, because there's a lot going on in the chat, I will put myself on the right side. Probably a little bit strange to see me now facing in the opposite direction. This is actually the correct non-mirrored image. This is what I really look like, ladies and gentlemen. I can hold this to the camera and it's not flipped. Probably can't read it anymore. Not only is it in German, it's also in a very cursive and old style font. But yeah. Yeah, no, we'll give it a try then. Oh, I get the point. Well, there's the current chat. But you turn. No, it's not our fucking turn. This is the point. It's not our turn. We're giving you the opportunity to do this because it is your turn. Fucking hell. It's like pulling teeth out with this guy. Now, it was technically his turn during that quest, but the quest was over. This is the point. All that was... No, it's fair. It's fair. In this case, it's actually not his fault. It's a case of him not realizing that I skipped my turn. He was counting the number of hunters before him. In actual fact, I had skipped and we were doing Dingle's turn. It is now Hunter's turn. And you know, there is a significance to the emblem that's on the ground here. This emblem actually harkens back to 1st gen. This is the emblem that is present in 2 places that I can think of in Mod Standard 1. It's not just in Mod Standard 1, but all of the 1st gen Mod Standards. This emblem sits behind the clock in 1st gen. This dragon emblem. And as well as that, in Mod Standard 1 and possibly Mod Standard G? Perhaps not Mod Standard G, but definitely Mod Standard 1. This emblem actually appears on a brown background in place of the final kill shot when you're collecting your items at the end of a quest. So, there you go. There's a little bit of history for you. Is this quest really going to assist you in making armor? I'm just going to ask him, do you need something from this quest? My guess is that the answer is no. Whoops, I missed the G in something, but that's still readable at least. Something. Well, shit, come on. I will happily take you on. I won't take you on seriously, but I'll take you on. Now, will you answer my question? Was that the prerequisite? Do you need something from this quest? Because he literally... What do you mean, how? Look, I asked you a question, and the reason why I asked you it was because you quite suddenly said, help me. And we're like, with what? And you're like, with making weapons and armor. Okay, well, we're in a turns room. It's now your turn. Is it... Rematch. Fuck me. We can do this all day, my friend, but what I would really like is for you to answer the question. What I want is to do something that will contribute to you making weapons and armor. I cannot see how this quest will help you in that endeavor. Fuck me. I'll just ask him again. I think that... Third time lucky? These guys want to hunt. They want to play the game. I guess it's just pointless asking him this question. Because it's not like victory is going to give him a reason to respond. It's not like, oh, if you beat me 3 times, I'll answer your question. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. I don't think he's capable of really comprehending what I'm asking him, or why I'm asking it to him. So, let's just do the hunt. I'm fucking sick of this. Does it matter? Okay, you win, says Hunter. Look, victory in this case, for me, would be you answering my fucking question. Springer hunting horn. I will bring the slime hunting horn. The Brachydios hunting horn. Tarmbrel demolisher. Beat him down, says Vernon. Well, I beat him down, okay? Are we all happy? Like I'm gonna go real hard on him. I'm gonna revert back to the Tri days and just absolutely thrash my controller to high heaven, trying to beat this actual child at Mod Standard arm wrestling. How you change color? Sorry, Chang Cola. How you Chang Cola? What you got against him? Oh, gotta go. Thank fucking God for that. Oh, gotta go. It's like a gift from the heavens. Honestly. Well, if he's gotta go, then it means no more hunt, so sorry. Is Dingle saying he also needs to go? Or is he remarking upon the fact that Hunter needs to go? I hope that Dingles doesn't also need to go, because he's the damn room host. Okay, apparently not. He was just repeating what Hunter had said. Okay. It's Jawbreaker's turn. That was a little confusing, but fine. Gone with the wind, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter has left the building. And thank God for that. I won't use Hunting Horn when we've only got 3 people. As I've said a number of times in the past, I don't use Hunting Horn with 3 people. Unless I'm really in a Hunting Horn mood and I just can't help myself. I'll bring a longsword. How about that? Do I have any Fire Awakened longswords? I know I do. I can sense it. If I seem like I type awkwardly on this keyboard, it's because the positioning of the keys in relation to where I place my hands is totally different from the keyboard that I'm used to. I like how they're just moving on like it wasn't an event that had taken place, that we had actually been in the same room as someone who was that. Just, I guess, mentally feeble? Again, it's not because he's actually personally stupid, he's a child, but that doesn't mean that we don't have to deal with him. I think I would be able to have a more constructive verbal conversation with him, quite frankly. In fact, I know that I would be able to. I think that, you know, I would happily sit down with that kid. I don't care how old he is, I don't care if he's 8 years old, I'd happily sit down with him and teach him Monster Hunter. I'd happily do that, but it's not going to work that way. It's over text. And I'm not here to do that. I'm here to play the games, so... How come? Maybe he just enjoys gaming. What? What relevance does that have to literally anything? Maybe he just enjoys gaming. I guess that's why we're all here, isn't it? Yeah. The fucking tolerance of some people, seriously. Makes me look like I'm being dramatic. I don't think so. There's millions of other games. Why this one? At this time, with his skill level? Exactly. That is the point. I think Mezzy just hits the nail on the head. This is not the sort of game where you're going to expect to encounter someone like this. But whatever. Apparently, this is the game that he's chosen. Meanwhile, Dingles is sitting there like, so what? What's the problem, man? Maybe he just likes gaming. What? What do you mean? Of course he likes gaming. He's a kid. Fuck, he probably doesn't really know what's going on. But there's things happening on the screen, and he wants to make weapons and armor. And he dies a lot. But yeah, he likes gaming, you know. Because that's somehow relevant to anything that's been said so far. But thank you, Dingles, for your contribution. Fuck. Anyway, moving on. Literally moving on, because that's now the end of a saga. And I'm glad. I didn't necessarily want this whole recording to be dominated by his presence. I have definitely gone the long way. Whatever. No, yeah, I don't necessarily need to have every point of conversation to be based on him. It just sort of ends up being that way when he's here, because it's hard to ignore every little thing that he does, because every little thing that he does is so illogical. But now that he's gone, I can actually move on and perhaps discuss other things. Such as this longsword. This longsword is not very good, but I'm using it for fun. It's okay, I suppose, but the lack of white sharpness is really not great. Dingles is demonstrating an acute lack of understanding of how to play the game by dropping a trap when no one is here to take advantage of it. Which is unfortunate, but after what I've already seen, it's probably not that bad. At least he knows how to place a trap. To top it off, he didn't even place Barrel Bomb L+. Just regular. Oh. Oh! It's this quest. I've just brought a weapon that I quite openly refer to as not very good to the event Ivory Laggy. What's wrong with me? Well, I'm really going to have to pay attention to what I'm doing then. I do actually have high-grade earplugs, so I shouldn't be diving through the raw. That's pretty dumb. I was ready to just have a leisurely hunt with this monster, but it's not going to be that. This is the event, I didn't realize. It's Seeking the Sea King. I hate the width of that fucking attack. Of course, it has such a width because he surrounds himself with lightning when he does it, but... Look how many potions I've already consumed. This is ridiculous. Can I at least level up my charge gauge now? I can't even commit to a full fucking no. Well, fine. I don't care. I had very innocently ventured into this hunt not realizing what it was. I would have brought something a little more appropriate had I realized. Whatever. I don't want a weapon type that requires me to commit for like a full 5 seconds to get a charge gauge up. Can we retry? Looks like Dingles is in a really bad situation as well. I like how we failed before we could even restart. That's how poorly we did in that situation. Now, I'm happy to do that again, but it seems that it wasn't only me who was totally ill-prepared. That did not end very well at all. Whatever. The thing is, not only is this particular monster very, very damaging, he's also very big. It means that every attack that he has covers more ground than anything. He's like a maximum size, maybe not a maximum size, but he is a very large Ivory Laggy. Guaranteed. It's part of the hunt. And he is also very damaging, so... nasty combination. I don't have to do that quest. So, if Jawbreaker wants to change, I would be quite happy to change as well. I'll leave that up to him. That does a fucked amount of damage, is what he is saying. It's up to you. I don't know if you need the weapon or not. In fact, I don't have the weapon either, so I would like to do this quest. It's the switch axe. Interestingly enough, I don't have this weapon yet. Dragon's Roar. 1? How do I only have 1? Have I only No. I've succeeded in this quest more than once. It must be something else that's made from it. Metal Voucher G. Well, I really do love the design of this switch axe. I'd love to make it, but it mustn't be from this quest. It must be from a different one. Well, aren't you an asshole? How about you show some fucking respect and actually let us know that you're closing the room before you do so? Unless it really was just this sudden urge that you had to close the room. Well, not urge, but rather a sudden need. If it was an urge, then that wouldn't necessarily be excusable, but if it was a need, if you really had to close it right then and there, then sure. Fucking hell. At least we've still got 7 people to play with. Maybe I'll be lucky and I'll be able to join a room with someone. Oh great, a bunch of people making rooms of their own, plus this asshole. Okay. Let's join, what was it, Valerie? Or was that the person with the passworded room? I think it was the person with the passworded room. I forgot who this room was made by, but hopefully he returns from the quest soon. Yes, I do remember that film. I think we might have three-manned that, honestly. That was the one that we did with the cheater, the guy who wanted to bring paralysis knives to the fucking quest. And I think I died very early on. And he abandoned, and I was like, well, let's just keep going. And we did eventually fail like 15 minutes in, but we only failed because we didn't have that guy with us. Had he stayed in the quest, we would have succeeded. But yes, I do remember the situation. I like that set. Fucking hell. I don't want to do this. But whatever, it's his room. This kind of quest is probably the only thing that he's going to have fun with. Is he one of those people? It needs to be a multi-monster arena quest or I'm not having fun. If that's the case, then I'm not really looking forward to this, but whatever. I'll bring Pierce with the Black Diablo's bow. How about that? Sarah Cyclord. Now that's a bow. I just hope that the next quest will be something that's not in the land arena. I don't really like the arena. I prefer to fight monsters in a locale. In their environment. The arena's just a bit boring. In my opinion. I don't mind an arena quest every now and again, and I actually do see the value in arena quests if you're purely trying to get items from the monster. If you've got an arena quest as an option, that will allow you to get materials from the monster, it's actually much more time efficient because you don't have to go looking for the monster and then chase it around the map when it wants to leave. You engage it immediately, and it never leaves. Coming? Are you for real? Coming? I think we were both joined up on the quest within about 60 seconds of you putting it on the board. And if not 60 seconds, then definitely 120. I think so, mate. I'm not saying that because, you know... I mean, he can kick me for saying that, I don't give a shit. I really don't care. Apparently he's not that prickly, but seriously, I mean, this is the sort of person that I don't want to associate with. I mean, we're literally just taking a very ordinary amount of time to get ready for the quest. Like, that entire thing was less than 2 minutes. And he's asking if we're coming or not. Seriously. Fucking dork. One at a time? Really? Okay. Yeah, let's just throw 50 flash bombs until we get one on target, hey? This is obviously ideal positioning. Kirito visited the port. Fucking hell. Now, I don't have coatings, but this is not a bow where I want to bring coatings unless I'm in the mood to use exhaustion coatings, which I'm not. I can't believe it. This guy... I mean, all I can hope is that this guy got the game when it came out, and he, at that point, named himself Kirito. That's what I'm hoping. If he recently made his character and named himself Kirito, then I'm not too sure what to say, but... Anyway. Well, I know precisely what to say. But I'm not in that sort of mood. He is probably a Sword Art Online fan, says Vernon. I don't know whatever gave you that idea. That sounds rather far-fetched to me. Alright. Don't want to be too close, and I do still want to be lined up with the rear of the monster. I'd like to pierce a little bit through the tail, but if I aim too high up, it's actually going to pierce upwards and not through the body. I suppose what I mean to say is that it will exit the body too quickly. What a boring hunt. Is this really what you wanted to do at hunt rank 690? This is what you decided would be fun? Anyway. No, I enjoy Sword Art Online. I don't like that it's so... Well, it was. It's not really the case anymore, but... It used to be heavily oversubscribed. Everyone wanted to fanboy over it. It wasn't really worth that kind of excitement. But, you know, it wasn't a bad show and I enjoyed it at the time. There were aspects to it that I fucking hated. The second half of the first season was awful. And I did not like the second half of the Gun Gale Online season either. But, you know. It's just a little bit cheesy to name yourself Kirito. That's all. It's not that much different from naming yourself Naruto. It really is kind of the same thing. You know what you never did see was people naming themselves Luffy. You never saw that. Don't know why. I guess people enjoy the character, but they don't seek to emulate the character. Which may or may not say something about the character in question, but yeah. I guess that's what it comes down to. They like the character, but they don't think he's cool. He's not that kind of cool. And to be completely honest, I wouldn't really consider Naruto to be a very cool character either. He certainly wasn't for the first, I don't know, 5 years of its existence. Probably longer. But, anyway. Probably more than 5 years, honestly. Well, of course you've seen a Zoro. I'm sure there's plenty of those. But that could also refer not to One Piece, but to, you know, Zoro. Which is certainly not One Piece specific. And that name does exist outside of that, so... Specifically in the fictional universe. So, yeah. Which makes me wonder if Oda regrets having named his character after another fictional character in that way. Anyway. I mean, the inspiration's kind of clear. But to actually steal the name... It was fine back then, I guess. Small-time manga. Named Romance Dawn, not a big deal. But now it's like the biggest manga of all time, except for maybe Dragon Ball. So, yeah. Whatever, I won't dwell on it. Can this thing die already? This is a boring hunt. I'm sorry, I don't know if you find this to be entertaining, James, but this is boring to me. I can do what I can to make it entertaining for the viewers or something, but I don't know, I'm fighting individual monsters in the same drab arena, one at a time. It's just, like, I don't get anything out of this. Whatever. It'll be over eventually. Isn't this only our second? Maybe it's our third one. No, it is actually just our second. I think there are 5 of them. There's 5 of them! Or at least 4. I don't know, but... anyway. This is all I have on offer. I didn't really have any other choice. That was an interesting way for the monster to die. I do have to admit. Again, in this game, for some reason, and I'll never understand why, I can't actually see a list of the monsters that we're fighting. Fortunately, it's only 4, but that means we're only halfway through the damn process. What will he do if I say it's a boring hunt? Will he get offended? I don't think so, but I've probably already given him a bit of attitude, so maybe I should not test his patience any further. Yeah, I'm gonna move myself back. I don't like being in the way of the whole coating and item selection thing. Just feels... it feels like I'm obviously in the way of something constantly. And it's distracting. And it doesn't look great. And I think it's relevant. I think it's important information to know what I'm equipping and consuming. When I say equipping, I guess I mean in the selection screen. Like, what am I selecting in my item selector? That's what I mean by equipping. I probably should choose my words more carefully. Come on, what are you doing? I only have a limited amount of stamina, you know. I was somewhat expecting it to be a blast arc shot. But honestly, blast arc shot is terrible. It might function well for dealing damage, but it fucks up your teammates terribly. If your bow has blast arc shot, please don't use it online. It really disrupts the experience for other people. But you shouldn't need me to tell you that. You should be able to see it yourself. It really is quite obvious. There goes James, goodbye. Oh, fuck. I shall retreat, heal, and then return to the battle. Can someone wake me up when it's over? Seriously. This is the last time I do this hunt. The next time someone posts it, I'm just gonna leave, even if it's Even if there's nothing else for me to do, I'd rather solo a fucking quest than do this ever again. I've done this on camera a few times before, and I think every single time I've complained about it. It's just a boring hunt. It's terrible. It's shit. Again, the only reason why I departed on it was because I don't have an abundance of choice. There's 7 people playing the game, and there could be less now than when I last checked. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that in some cases I'm really not getting maximum piercings, but I hope the damage is still all right. Very good. I don't remember what's last. I feel like if I thought about it hard enough I'd remember, but... Nicely done, says Jawbreaker. If you say so. I know what I'd really like to be able to do right about now. And that is do a different quest. It's on, says James. Okay, I hope so. I hope that something eventful will take place. That would be excellent. Maybe it's Devil Joe. Even then, I'd rather just do a single Devil Joe quest somewhere that's not here. Stygian Zenoga. This is what you meant? This monster sucks for Pierce, at least in my opinion. I don't have... Oh no, I do. I have stamina recovery materials. It would be correct to say that I didn't bring stamina recovery materials, but I do have them. Or items, materials. Oh, excuse me, I would have been wrong on both accounts. Had I been banking on being correct. I have Mega Dash Juice. I'll just detonate that. Doesn't matter where it hits the monster, as long as it hits the monster somewhere. Because it does not deal different damage depending on where it impacts the monster. I'm sure someone's going to be like, where's your power shot, Doomlink? Well, there isn't any. It doesn't exist. This is maximum damage, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to live with it. And this is precisely why I end up in 4th gen never doing power shots. It's because, well, I'm used to this. I'm used to not having them. Eventually I'll do power shots when I actually remember that they're a thing, and that they're an option that I have at my disposal to take advantage of. But sometimes I'm just doing this, standard charge shooting. Do I prefer to use the bow with power shots? I do, because it adds a little bit more depth to the weapon type. A little bit more complexity. I think it's a positive thing. Hunter Die Morales, that would be fun. Well, I'll put him on the board, if I get a chance to post. What is going on? What are you doing? I don't know, I haven't seen someone Sonic Bomb a Zenoga before. I'm going to assume that you can. I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think he'd be randomly throwing Sonic Bombs for no reason. But he obviously failed immensely to succeed in whatever he was attempting to do. I think he threw 3 to 4 Sonic Bombs to no avail. So, yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but If there were some sort of timing that he was trying to get off, he missed it. He bloody missed it. He's still doing it. He's still throwing sonic bombs. I don't get it. What's he achieving? He's still throwing sonic bombs. I think he's just playing around at this point. I wouldn't mind if this weren't such a bloody boring quest. I already resent you for putting it on the board, so to then just randomly throw sonic bombs instead of dealing damage to the goddamn monster, you're rather pushing it. You're testing my patience. Not that that's going to get you in any hot water, but still. It's pissing me off. At least I got him out of that. It would be nice if he could be harmed by his own dragon balls, but I don't think they would harm him in any way. What I would imagine is that Stygian Zinogre has full resistance to dragon, which is to say that he would take 0 damage from it. And I would guess that those dragon balls, or balls of dragon element, whatever you want to call them, deal pure elemental damage, which would mean that he would literally be unaffected by them if they were to make contact with his body. B-O-D-A-Y. Body. Why I felt the need to say that, I don't know, but whatever. Go on, James, throw some sonic bombs. It might do something. Or you could actually contribute to the hunt. It's up to you, man. Is he using Plesioth Dual Blades? Those look like Plesioth Dual Blades. I hope that they're not. I really hope that they're not. What has he got there? Plesioth Dual Blades. What hunter rank are you? What's going on? Anyway. He deemed it appropriate to come into this hunt with Plesioth Dual Blades. Now, I'm not saying that they were a really bad choice for all of the monsters, but of all the things he could have gone with, that's not a great choice. Roar would have been better. Paralysis would have been better. Slime would have been better. But sure. And I say that because we were only 3 people, killing 4 monsters at G rank level. So, in the arena, which is especially boring, so the faster we can get through it, the better. Anyway. It's a very colourful reward screen, at least. Thanks for the true armor spheres. In fact, now that I've got as many as 36 by the looks of it. It was 30 something at least. I should actually try and upgrade some of my armor pieces. A lot of my armor has not been sufficiently upgraded because I just haven't had the armor spheres to do it. I've got plenty of money to upgrade. I suppose I'll start with this armor set, not this one. I saw this helmet and thought I was using... Don't even worry. I'm not going to explain myself. I use a very similar helmet, if not the same helmet, with my Honed Blade set. I'm going to try and upgrade that first. Kirito has been very patient. I don't have anything against him personally, and I do apologize for making him wait for as long as he did. But yeah, that was the nature of the hunt. Upgrade armor. Go to fully upgrade this if it is not already fully upgraded. It seems that it has been fully upgraded. Let's move on to the next set. Kirito... Were you kicked? If you were kicked, then that's fucking merciless. He could have been a low rank or a high rank player. In which case, that is just fucking merciless on the part of James. To not even take the time to apologize or to explain the situation. I don't know if Kirito just left at the worst possible time or if James kicked him, but if James kicked him, what a dick. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have kicked him if he was high rank or low rank, but to just do it without saying anything. He had sat there and waited for like 15 minutes. And if not 15 minutes, then definitely at least 12. Which, depending on the person, can be a long fucking time to wait. That can be a big investment for some people, because not everyone's going to do something in that time. Some people literally just sit there and stare at their screen until, you know, they're able to hunt. And James may very well have just removed that person from the room without having so much as apologized, so that's a bit rough. Turns, says James. Well, thank God for that. Morales next. Okay. Now, what was I doing? I was checking to see... Yeah, we'll go with this armor set next. I'll just try to fully upgrade all of the armor sets that I've registered. I'd say that that's fairly sensible. Let's seek to do this. Looks like I've got only 2 armor pieces that need to be leveled up further here, and there was only 1 upgrade for that one. Well, this one's only level 4, so I'm going to need a number of armor spheres for this one. You can see how I can so quickly run out of true armor spheres. That was just 1 piece. I don't know how many I just used, but I think it was around 6 or 7. That was 1 armor piece, so yeah. Having 30-something true armor spheres doesn't really account for much. Now, this armor set is one that I only recently made, so... And I will actually go with this particular loadout for Morales. I think this would be very nice. But this one... Oh, never mind, this is fully upgraded. I was not anticipating that. Okay, well that's great. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'll move on to... perhaps not that one, that's a low priority. That one's also low priority. Let's go for this one. We got... Gare Bear. What? Why Gare instead of Care? Must be some personal reference. Some inside joke, no doubt. He's under no obligation to make a name that we would find funny. But, you know, it does leave us a little confused as to what the hell it's supposed to mean, but... Gare. I don't know. Fortunately, some of these armor pieces are used in other mixed sets, which means that if I upgrade the pieces in one set, obviously they'll be fully upgraded in other sets. So, yeah, I mean, you would think that I would have made some attempt to do this at some point prior to now, but no. I'm only now trying to fully upgrade my armor sets. I really have been lacking in true armor spheres in a big way. I'm just glad that I have lots of money, and you know what? I'm also glad to deplete my current reserves, because I've got too many of them. I've got too much in the way of money. And the more I can sell items and contribute to a total number of Zenny, the better I feel about myself. I don't like being at max Zenny, and then selling something, and then still being at max Zenny. It's so stupid that I feel as if it's going to mean more to be able to sell something and then actually contribute towards it. No. Are you people for real? I already said Morales next, and what's going on? Okay, so I guess turns... This is interesting. Turns apparently does not mean that we're going to go in order of who's joined the room. Hold on. There is a reason why I'm taking exception to this. I don't need Morales. The reason why I take exception to this is because it's another fucking multi-monster quest in the land arena. I'm not doing it again. Why are we not going in order of who joined? No problem, says James. So he doesn't have a stake in the argument. So Jawbreaker needs to back down and maybe let me post a quest that's not actually desperately boring. Desperately boring. What do you mean no problem, James? No problem as in it's not an issue that he's skipped me? No problem as in, oh, I get your point, we'll do your quest? What's it supposed to mean? This Jawbreaker guy is honestly... I sort of understand why he thought that he could just post. I mean, I did say skip me last time that he and I were in a turns room together. But if he's going to post this, I would like to at least delay it. We just finished a 4-monster arena quest in the land arena, and he wants to do another one. I was complaining about that previous one the entire time. I don't want to do another one. We're using smoke bombs, asks Gare Bear again. Well, James, what's happening? He doesn't seem to want it. He's responding with no problem to everything being said, so... He's, Okay, Jawbreaker is actively ignoring me at this stage. He's fully capable of typing in English in the chat. In fact, Gare Bear is actively... All three of them are actively ignoring the fact that we're not going in order of who joined the room, which is the standard with every single turns room. Every single turns room. So... Oh my god. I think Bloody is actually... I think it's actually censored, so I have to do this. That James guy is hopeless. He's got the personality of a plank of wood. Alright. What are my other options? This room with Urs, I am almost certain that this person is AFK. We've done 2 hours anyway. If I can't get into another room, then so be it. I wouldn't have really been that frustrated with the fact that they skipped me for that turns room if it weren't for the fact that that person, in skipping me, posted the second most boring quest in the game for us to do. And then second of all, they just completely ignored the fact that I was skipped. All 3 of them, presumably. Oh shit. It says, battery is low, your device will shut down in 30 seconds, connect to charger. Okay. I'll do that. But yeah, seriously. That is just downright inconsiderate behavior. And it does not make the community look all that good. In fact, the community's not all that good. The community is filled with people who don't know how to play the game, and people who apparently don't give a shit about doing the right thing by those in the room that they are sharing space with. The reason why I assumed that Urs would be AFK is because this person has been in this room alone for the last 2 hours, probably longer. So, oh, look at this. I haven't seen a gunner set like this in a while. It's nice looking. Although at Hunter Rank 999, I don't know why he's gone and eaten for Exchanger, unless his objective was to get Defender high. And he just got Exchanger along with that. Well, I wanted to do some Morales for you guys, but I wasn't going to do it at the expense of my own sanity in doing another land arena quest with 4 monsters. So... I sadly don't have any other options. I think that will conclude this recording, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for watching. I'll see you when I'm next recording Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate or Monster Hunter or perhaps something else that might take your interest. I've pretty much only been doing Monster Hunter recently, but I am going to be doing Dark Souls 2 at some point in the future. I think I'll have to wait until I get earphones to plug into my computer to do that one, but... Well, that's a whole story in and of itself that I'm not going to get into. It's a lengthy story, but... Anyway. I will at some point be getting new in-ear monitors, and once I do that, I'll be able to actually listen to the sounds of my PC whilst playing video games, which I find to be quite helpful when you're recording them. I will see you all when I am next playing something that you'd like to watch, and I bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.